Before we start off today's video, if you guys would like to join the Discord server, link will be in the description below, and it will also be in that pinned comment. If it's been more than 7 days, please use the latest videos. That's the one where the links will be working. And of course, I'd like to have you on the channel as well, so make sure to subscribe with that bell on and make sure to like the videos as well, and you won't miss a thing. Anyway, let's get right into today's review. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm back. Yes, I am back. Now, the reason I took a break was because I went on holiday. I went to Turkey, Antalya specifically, for 1 week. Now, if you're wondering, 1 week? You took 3 weeks off. Why is that? Well, here's the thing. I wanted to take a bit more of a break than just 1 week, and also I filmed on a Sunday, but I didn't get back to it on a Tuesday, and basically it's another Sunday today, and it doesn't get uploaded till a Thursday, so, you know. Now, if you'd like to see the pictures of me on holiday, then you can check out my personal Instagram. Now, you can either do that by using the name that's on the screen and just typing it in, or use a link in the description below, or even just use the same thing up here at the end. It's up to you. Either way, you can check it out. I believe it's the second post by this point today. You'll see a waterfall video that actually was in Turkey, and you can actually see it in the picture just about, but it is the second post. So if you'd like to check that out, make sure you do so, and please, you know, like the post, maybe even give me a follow. I know it's not about cars, this personal Instagram, but still, doesn't matter. But anyway, today we are here with the MG4 EV. Now, if you don't know, or if you're just new to cars, or if you're thinking about buying it but don't understand it, basically Chinese company SAIC, which I don't actually know what that stands for, they bought the name MG, so now they use that name and put it on some of their cars, and so this is one of their products. This is an affordable electric hatchback. So this is the MG4 EV, and basically it's not too old on the scene, it is relatively new, and well, we're just going to see how this car fares. And it also does bring a name back, which me saying that doesn't matter because you see it in the title, but you get the point. We'll get to that in the performance section. But anyway, let's get right into it. So, when it comes to the exterior of the MG4, it definitely looks angry in a cool way. So the lights, well, they start off thin and they go wide, but then they're also having like a point down shape, and they look like they're squinting like, I'm angry, which kind of makes it look like an angry fish, sort of. So it looks like that. And then it's got such a huge, like, not a strip, but like a slash point in the middle, which, you know, kind of adds an angry flair. And then you'll see it's like it's got a mouth, so it's like it's angry, then this. It's like one of those TikTok filters, like it can't make up its mind. But anyway, you also got the vents on the side as well, and overall the front is nice enough, really, to be fair. The side profile, unfortunately, I don't know how to feel on that. It's a bit odd. I don't know. I mean, yes, granted it's the large hatchback size, not a small one. But still, I mean, yeah, granted I do like a few things, like the way the lights are on the wing and all of that, and that cool design that might just be only on the trophy model, I'm not sure. That grey and white thing you see on the side of the door. But otherwise, I'm not sure how to feel personally. The rear, well, it's better than the side, but not as good as the front. I mean, yes, I do really like the rear lights. How I know I don't like light bars much, but it's not really a light bar because it stops here with the MG badge in it. And then the lights, they sort of split up and then down. And then if you actually step up to the back of the car, you can see it's like you got the boot, but then there's like a line here, and then you can look down on it. It's like a strip, which is a really nice touch. And you got what is effectively 2 spoilers. Now, on the baser models, you don't get these spoilers, it's only on the higher spec ones. And I'll get to the trim stuff in the performance and in anything else where it's all cleared up. And then the rest kind of looks a bit bland, like boxy, sort of, like it's not much. Yeah. I mean, it's cool enough, I guess you could say, but otherwise, I mean, it is cool in its way, because obviously you got the cool light design and the way it comes out, and that, you know, you've got 2 spoilers if you get the right trim level. When it comes to the interior of the MG4, what MG has done is taken a minimalist design, but not as minimalist as Tesla does it. So obviously you got the screen in front of you, then you obviously got an infotainment screen in the middle, and then you got a few buttons below it, and then you got what's a charging pad, and then you got like your drive select and some other buttons as well, and your 12-volt socket underneath. Now, I like how there are some shortcut buttons. It definitely makes the cabin a bit more busy. Not that it is busy, and it also means that you don't have to fiddle around. But speaking of fiddling around, unfortunately the climate controls are within the infotainment screen, so they can be distracting, especially at first, and they do take a bit longer to do than normal knobs. And then there's the cup holders, because you obviously got that floating, I don't know what you call it, bit of dashboard. If you have a tall drink and you're driving, then, you know, it's a bit fiddly. I mean, I haven't done it, but a bit like trying to, oh god, it's stuck. There we go. So you just have to be a bit careful on that matter. Maybe don't put the tallest drinks in there. They'll be a bit messy. Let's put it that way. So the performance. So this is where we start with the trims and getting to know them. So this first one belongs to SE, which is the basic trim. So this one has a 51 kWh battery and electric motor. Altogether 167 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. It is rear-wheel drive, which is for all of these except for one, which we'll get to after. Weight is 1655 kilograms. It is heavy because obviously you got all the batteries and the motor and all that. And because it's electric, it's just your traditional automatic, so you put it in D and bugger off. 0 to 60 is 7.5 seconds and the top speed is 100 miles an hour on the dot. Now, this one belongs to SE long range and Trophy long range. Now, I am saying this in order as well, so it'll be SE long range, Trophy long range, and then something else after. And then something else after that. So this one has a 64 kWh battery with the electric motor, and it has 200 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, and it is rear-wheel drive. It is a bit heavier at 1685 kilograms, and again, usual automatic. Now looking at 0 to 60, you won't be thinking, wait, you made a mistake here. Well, I'm not, because I've seen quite a few car reviewers say that this one is actually a bit slower than the base one. And top speed is the same at 100 miles an hour on the dot. Now, this one is the Trophy extended range. So this has an even bigger battery at 77 kilowatt hours, and it has more power, 241 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. And this one is still rear-wheel drive. So this one is a lot heavier at 1748 kilograms than usual automatic, which I should not be saying anymore, because it's, you know, I'm a broken record at this point. 0 to 60 is faster at 6.3 seconds, which does make it more rapid, especially off the line. Not that the other two aren't, but this is more. And top speed has been up to 112 miles an hour. Now, do you guys remember this? This is the MG XPower SV. What is basically, it's basically Frankenstein. It had Italian underpinnings with a Ford American engine, and then obviously with a British badge and body and all that. And I actually don't know if the body is Italian designed or British designed, but anyway, it's got a British badge on it. It's for, you know, MG, which is British. Either way, the name XPower, it's back in the form of this one. So this one has a 64 kilowatt hour battery, so unfortunately it's not as big as you probably hope. It's the same as the long range 2. So battery and electric motor, 428 horsepower. So this is on par with things like the A45 AMG, A45S AMG, whatever you call it. So 443 pound-feet of torque. Now this one is all-wheel drive, which means not only do you get better grip in the corners, but you also get better acceleration off the line. So this one is quite a bit heavier at 1800 kilograms ish, and it is automatic as usual, blah blah blah. So 0 to 60, 3.8 seconds, which is, well, very quick. And top speed is 124 miles an hour. So if you do want, you know, XPower, the name XPower, in today's world for a bargain price without, you know, having to find one, then well, here you go, just beware, it's in EV form. Practicality. So the boot was 363 litres big, which was a tad on the smaller side, which is a shame. However, it was still practical enough for everyday use, and it was a nice, simple, boxy shape with a wide enough opening. However, the rear was good for headroom and legroom, so there's zero need to worry about that if you're tall. No need. That was probably the quickest practicality bit I've ever done. Wow. Anyway, handling and comfort. So, let's start with the comfort. So, let's split it into two. The XPower and then everything else. So, everything else. So, it was comfortable enough. Obviously, there were some cars that would be a bit more comfortable, but for your everyday use, it was comfortable enough for your passengers not to complain, and for your lungs not to be jiggled about everywhere. However, you still could feel a few jolts here and there, you know, every so often or so on a bump or a pothole or crack or whatever. But you know, it was fine for what it is. Anyway, the XPower, because obviously it was a sporty version, it obviously had to have stiffer suspension for reasons such as handling. So obviously that suspension is going to be a bit more rough. You definitely will feel that. However, by hot hatch standards, because it is a hatchback at the end of the day and it is hot with that amount of power, you know, hot hatchbacks like the A45S and stuff like that, RS3, you know, they're not comfortable, if you get what I mean. You know, you will feel some hard suspension stuff here and there, and it's the same with the XPower. So it was comfortable enough for what it is, but it was less comfortable than the standard versions, if you get what I mean. And then handling wise, so again, we're splitting it into two, so the normal ones. So because they are rear wheel drive, obviously that is a bit more fun than front wheel drive. So you could go through a corner and then you could put your foot down, and I wouldn't say it would slide, but you'd feel more fun and more things happening than if it was front wheel drive. Plus the motor and the batteries are quite low down as well, which means you get a better sense of gravity. So that obviously helps it maintain in the corners with limited body roll. And the XPower, well, because it had all-wheel drive, you obviously got more grip, which is good through the corner. However, it probably wouldn't be as fun. You get more power as soon as you fling out the corner, which is great, which is really what you want. But, you know, it's heavier and stuff like that, really. So it's not as good as its ICE equivalents, but it's decent enough for what you may want to do. So, is there anything else worth noting? Well, yes, there is, for once in a long time in these videos. So basically we're going to talk about the claimed range of each battery you get and each trim. Now these are, like I said, claimed, and these are off the mg.co.uk website, so I haven't found it on some dodgy website. So the SE, which is the basic trim, has a claimed mileage of 218 miles, which converts to 351 kilometers. Now what I'm going to do here is this, obviously because there's a lot of names and figures here, I've put kilometers in there for you in case you want that, but I'm not going to repeat the kilometers word because it will be here forever. So I'm just going to repeat the miles because I'm in England and we use miles. So the SE long range has 281 miles, which is more because it's a bigger battery. However, even though the Trophy long range has the same battery pack, it is reduced to 270 miles. The extended range has a claimed mileage of 323 miles. And the XPower has 239, obviously because it's got more power and the battery is the same one used in the long range rather than the extended range, so you don't get that much as you would hope. So what is the verdict? Well, the front is cool and the rear isn't cool, but just to save it being a separate line, we'll just say it's alright. I'll say to you, it's alright. You know, it has got some nice features and all that. So rear headroom was good as well as the legroom. XPower performance was great. it was reasonably comfortable and it handled decently well for what it was. However, the cons are the boot is a tad small. It's still practical and it's got a nice shape, but it is still a bit smaller than its other, not members, what do you call it? Rivals, that's it. Climate controls, yes, you do have to change them within the screen, which may affect some people and some people's driving. Cup holders, they are a bit of a stupid design, let's be honest with you. You know, if you've got a really tall drink, it's going to be difficult while you're driving, and you know, unless you're going to look down, just a quick glance like this, then you know, it's a bit messy and odd, like I said. XPower does have a rougher ride. Now, it's not uncomfortable in the same way that a Lamborghini Gallardo would be, but it's still rougher than its base model or lower trims suspension ride would be. And the side I'm not so sure about really. It's a bit long and bulbous and I don't know. But anyway, that does conclude my review of the MG4. Now, before I move on to the last slide, I would like to say that these Chinese MGs do get a lot of flack for, you know, them being Chinese crap, and especially the electric ones, you know, to say that it's all terrible. Am I one of them? Well, kind of. I'm only more sympathetic to this because it's, even though it's not a real MG and it's just the name they've bought out, you know, MG name Morris Garages is still a British name and it originated in Britain, so a little bit more sympathetic to that, especially because I'm British. Otherwise, yeah, a lot of these, like these Wanfeng or whatever, the Xing or whatever the hell they're called, these random companies that just start out making electric cars, yeah, I don't really care about them. They probably are not as good as you would probably hope. And the interior of this MG4, obviously it's a bargain car, but it's not as, you know, well put together as you'd probably expect, you know, like a lot of these Chinese cars. But anyway, if you would like me to review a car, then you can let me know in the comments below, and you can also let me know in the Discord server if you decide to join, because there is a section dedicated for that. But please don't join the Discord, say you want to review and then leave. Please don't do that. But anyway, I will see you guys in next week's video. So peace out, homies, which is what I actually said to Turkey as soon as I got on the plane and the plane took off.